What is up, Waffle Gang? I do hope you are well. My name is Mark, and today we're checking out some r/am I the butthole. If you'd like to skip the initial waffle, timestamps are in the description and along the timeline below. But if you are new here, please consider hitting that like, that subscribe, and maybe that notification bell too. And before we get started, just a huge thank you from the bottom of my heart for being with the channel, just staying here every day, coming on Twitter. So many new people on Twitter at the minute getting involved. And like I said in my last video, some of you were asking for a dad update because there has been some changes, and I will give you that at the end of the video. And as I said, I'm not looking for sympathy or anything like that, but I know some of you like to know as well, and I appreciate you knowing. It's been fantastic. I know some of you are going through similar experiences, and it's great to talk to you guys. So I will end the video on that, and I will timestamp it too, so you don't have to listen to it. And with that being said, let's crack on with today's stories. Much love, guys. Now, our first story comes from a throwaway account. Am I the arsehole for refusing to financially support my sister after she insulted me and my kids? My sister and I have a 10-year age difference. We've been pretty close despite our differences. My sister decided to do a medicine degree. Since it took up a lot of her time, she can't earn enough working, and her boyfriend doesn't earn enough to fully support them both. I offered to financially support her since I can afford it, and I wanted to help her for her future. I found out I was pregnant around December and told people about it in late January, and I'm very excited to have the baby and add to my family. I already have 2 kids. However, a mutual friend of us both sent me a screenshot of something she had posted about how selfish and stupid her sister, me, was to be having another baby in a global health crisis, and why I'd want another spoiled brat crotch goblin in the first place. In a fit of rage, I texted her that I would no longer be financially supporting her, and I'd just stupidly and selfishly spend the money on me and my crotch goblins. Let me tell you, I've never gotten a phone call faster. She was crying, saying she can't support herself and she'd have to quit her degree and get a job. I hung up, but a few hours later she called me crying again, saying her boyfriend refused to support her solely, and he'd leave if she didn't quit the degree and find work. I supported her out of kindness, and she disrespected me. I don't have to give her money, it's mine. My husband also agrees with this. However, many mutual friends are saying ruining her life and her entire future over a stupid post is a huge arsehole move, and I've received many angry calls and texts. Am I the arsehole? At first, when I was coming into this story, like the first couple of paragraphs where it says like the sister can't afford to, get a degree and all this kind of thing, and OP found out they was pregnant in December, and then if that was a planned pregnancy, I would have thought, I thought it was going down the arsehole route that, they planned to have a baby and not tell the sister that she was going to be financially cut off, but obviously it didn't go that way in the end, but that's what I was going through at first. But this is a simple don't bite the hand that feeds you situation. Who the bloody hell does that? How rude. And in some ways, I think I could personally get over the whole selfish and stupid thing about having a baby in a global health crisis, because that's just an opinion, and and could be deemed to be true by some people. And I'm not saying everyone, because I don't personally view it that way, but I can see how someone will come into that and get that opinion. But the other line where it says, I'd want another spoiled brat crotch goblin in the first place, says a lot about what she thinks of her kids anyway, what she thinks about OP's kids anyway. So yes, that would instantly piss me off, and yeah, I don't blame OP for cutting them off whatsoever in this, in my opinion. But Lady Parisia says, not the arsehole, I'm floored that you are being so nice to her and supporting her through school, and this is how she repays you. Going behind your back and verbally assaulting you, your children, all while vilifying you in the process. Don't give her a penny. That woman sounds incredibly self-entitled and clearly not appreciative of your sacrifices to help her. Cry me a damn river, please.
Cry me a river. Oh, cry me a river.
And Blackberry Beetle says, not the arsehole, don't bite the hand that feeds you. It's none of her business how many kids you have and when you have them. It sounds like this wasn't a planned pregnancy anyway, it's just a happy surprise. If she can't afford to support herself while getting a degree, she shouldn't have thought twice about talking trash about the person helping her out financially. And Beaver Trail says, not the arsehole, it's your money. That said, I would perhaps ask her why she felt the need to make those comments. She's likely very stressed out and lashed out at anything that she could. In this case, it was you. It doesn't make it right and it's not okay, but I would imagine that it was something said in the heat of the moment to vent off steam. My advice, talk with your sister. She's likely very sorry. My second piece of advice, get a contract, make the help a loan instead of a gift, and have a repayment schedule at low or no interest. Good luck, family is tough. And Peanuts Lament says, everyone sucks here. She's right about babies during a pandemic, that's not a good idea. Nobody knows what the future holds, but it's not like you planned it. That being said, if you offer to help buy and cut it when she vented to a friend, that makes you a bit of a dick. Medical programs are hard to get in and maintain. Having to drop out will be catastrophic and if she can ever go back, and she may never forgive you. All in all, everyone sucks here. Her for being an ungrateful brat, OP for being a spiteful mombi, and her sister's boyfriend for not even considering helping. Now I turn this one to you guys. What do you guys think of this situation, and what would you do in it? Let me know in the comments below. And our next story comes from No Entertainment 9530. Am I the arsehole for making my 19-year-old cry because I said we have nothing in common, and that's why we aren't close? My daughter 19 and I 40 female live together. She is in online college, so home all the time. We are total opposites. I am a girly girl. She is a sweat and throw hair up in a bun type. She's into anime, which I tried to watch with her, but it's the most annoying thing ever. She also loves comics, so I did learn about them when she was younger. Basics like Supergirl and Superman are cousins, etc. So we sort of talk about that, but it's hard because she knows so much and I don't. I used to do a mother-daughter book club with her, but she kinda didn't want to do that when she was in high school. So the other day, she said she wanted to talk. She said she was upset that we didn't have a mother-daughter bond. I told her I love her very much, and I'm very sorry she feels like that. She said other mothers are super close to their daughters, and I pointed out they have common interests, do spa days, make up together, etc. And we don't have that much in common. She started crying and won't talk to me. My ex called and yelled at me, saying I'm a horrible person. He takes her to fix furnaces and stuff, and suggested I do stuff like that. And I told him I barely know what a furnace looks like, and can barely use a hammer, so it's a bit hard to bond over home improvement. My cousin also called and yelled at me. I feel bad, but I have tried, and do love and support her, so I'm not sure what else I can do. Am I the arsehole? And there's a tiny paragraph update at the end of this one, which we'll read after the comments because it's not really relevant as yet. And we had a similar story just recently. The kids were a lot younger. I think they were 9 and 10, and the dad said he has nothing in common with them, and he wants the children to be involved in his hobbies rather than the other way round. So he wanted them involved in Mandalorian and stuff like that. Very age appropriate, I know, yeah. Great. I love Mandalorian, so don't get on my back about that. But yeah, I can see why the kids didn't want to watch it at the same time. But I just see no reason to use that sentence at all, that you have nothing in common and that's why we aren't close. That's why you actively try to find something you can be in common with. Well, I know she's 19 and you shouldn't have to bow to her hobbies or whatever at this rate, but it's when with my nieces and nephews, you know, I get involved in their hobbies. I don't, even if they're not massively interesting to me, I get involved because I love spending time with them. I want to spend the extra time with them and be with them. And to be fair, I love a lot of their hobbies anyway. But, so we play Lego and we watch SpongeBob. Love SpongeBob. And next thing we know, we're just messing about role-playing SpongeBob. Which for some reason, I always have to be Squidward. Bloody, the little turds. But yeah, anyway, I'm going off. What I'm saying is you just actively have to try and get yourself involved with people and come to a compromise. I know, you know, your daughter is an adult now, but at the same time, there's no excuse for not talking to her and just trying to find an equal ground. There's got to be something you guys can do together. There has to be something. There's no way you guys are this incompatible. But BeaverTales11 says, you're the arsehole. If you had followed up that you have nothing in common with, but let's work together to explore things we both like and do things as mother-daughter, then my opinion would have been different. No one's an arsehole here. If most of your activities aren't for her and vice versa, as you detailed above, there is a third option. That said, no one is forcing you to be close, but if it's something you both want, then it seems that you have some work to do. Just my opinion. And Roaming Amber says, you're the arsehole. You're not the arsehole because you struggle to find things in common with your teenage daughter. You're the arsehole because your daughter desired something meaningful and relevant. She reached out to you and expressed herself maturely and respectfully, and you shot her down with a flimsy and frankly lazy excuse. Your child made herself vulnerable to you, and you dismissed her because she's boring to you. Not your exact words, I know, but I guarantee that's how it came across. Go back to your daughter and say something along the lines of, our conversation threw me because we're interested in such different things. Let's find a way to make that work for us. Let's plan something around. Insert one of her interests here. Then we'll try. Insert one of your interests. Make the effort as her mother. Don't be lazy about this. And Cheerily Terrified says, you're the arsehole. You seem to think it's an equal relationship and you find things you both like and bond over that. But you are her parent, so it is on you to find things that you both like or suck it up and get interested in things she loves. My mother is not interested in most things I like, but she's always, mostly, acted interested in the things I like and interested in me and talking to me. And related to that, I'm also not sure why you think you need shared interest to be close. Why can't you and your daughter be close because you eat dinner together every day and talk about your lives and what you care about and are interested in? And CD Sacken says, you're the arsehole. I'm a guy. My kid loves Barbie shows, My Little Pony, and everything imaginable girl. I watch the shows, know the characters, take her to Frozen movies, musicals, dance shows, etc. It's not hard or much of a sacrifice. In turn, she has started to like a few of my things as well. As a parent, I expect to make all the effort initially and then hope it works out. And now we're going to move to the edits, which says, I finally got her to talk to me. I suggested some of the anime you guys recommended and said I was willing to try, and she loves the idea of it. I suggested I read up on anime and suggest ones we can try, and I guess we're going to read a graphic novel called Lock and Key. Since she likes the show and I like the author. Thanks everyone. Also, she's going to let me try a modified Harley Quinn makeup look on her, one that you feasibly wear in public. Now, it's kind of nice. I think it's a wholesome ending here. It's definitely not a negative one, but I hope their relationship works out and builds further on that in the end. It's not the most negative of posts, but it could go a lot worse if it carried on down that route, right? Anyway, what do you guys think of this story? Let me know in the comments below. And our next story comes from, am I the arsehole kicked her out? Am I the arsehole for throwing my sister out of my house at her own birthday party? I, 24 female, have two older sisters, X, 29 female, and Y, 31 female. I've been seeing C, 32 male, for a year and a half now. Yes, there's an age difference. No, it has not been an issue. We don't live together, and initially, he resisted a relationship with me due to the age difference, and I was wary myself. But we had a lot of conversations and gave it a shot. He's honestly the best person I've ever dated. Sex is great, communication is great, he respects me entirely, never raises his voice, takes me on dates whenever we can, cooks, helps around the house. Total dreamboat basically. He's never made me feel inferior for being younger, never tried to parent or control me, encourages my social life and is supportive as can be. Anyway, when we first got together I was 23 and he was 30. Turned 31 a month or so after we made things official. I mentioned offhandedly to X that I was seeing someone and she asked the standard questions. I was honest about his age and she said gross, lectured me about creeps and I dropped the topic. My sister and I are best friends and to keep the peace I mentioned him at a minimum, occasionally mentioning a date we went on or a gift he bought me. Cut to last month, we were celebrating my sister's 29th birthday. COVID is a non-issue where we live at this point. I invite my boyfriend and this is the first time he's meeting my sisters. So it's me, my boyfriend, my sisters and their husbands. Things are going well. C is charming the pants off my brother-in-laws. We have some drinks and then it starts. X starts off with the casual questions that progressively get more pointed. Do you usually date girls in their 20s? Plot twist, no he doesn't. Was he attracted to me because I was younger? So on and so forth. I finally just cracked after trying to play off her questions with jokes to ease the tension and point out that yes, we have an 8-year age gap, but her and her husband have a 7-year age gap. X was 23, her husband was 30 when they met, and she's a hypocrite for being an arse to someone who's been nothing but doting and loving towards me. We argue, she says she's trying to protect me by trying to humiliate my boyfriend, and it culminates in me telling her to get out. Her husband was the DD and took her home. Y says that she doesn't have an issue with what I did, but kicking her out of her own birthday in my house was maybe a bit much, and she left with her husband. C is supporting me but says maybe I should apologise just so I can keep the peace. He doesn't want to come between my sisters and I. X went off on me when I called her a week later, told me I was a dick, she was doing her job as a sister. Y is just not even speaking about it because she doesn't want to take sides. But was I really the arsehole for kicking out of a party for her when she was that disrespectful? ETA info, I didn't speak to her privately, thanks Studio Apartments, but I did intervene, trying to deflect her attitude with jokes and steer the conversation elsewhere. She kept talking over me and ignoring me, and her husband subtly tried to calm her down. She ended up asking him if she was into BDSM stuff or had a daddy kink, and that's when things happened. My sisters have met my boyfriend before, and in my personal opinion, that is not an appropriate question to ask anyone ever, especially not in front of family. And the implication I got from that question was that she saw him as some kinky weirdo who was taking advantage of a young girl to live out his kinks, which is not the scenario at all in our sex life. Now, yes, your sister's definitely going to be the arsehole in this situation. She's got almost exactly the same relationship as you, and then she has the cheek to interrogate the boyfriend in front of family. Yes, you know, she could have brought this up in private with you if she has these concerns and talked to you about it, but she didn't. She brought it up in front of family, and of course, anyone in that situation is going to kick someone out of their house. They're not going to be disrespected like that. I think personally, I would kick someone out if they'd done a similar thing as well. But I do question, seeing as she's in a similar relationship to yours, like the same age difference, that she has some concerns of her own relationship that she's trying to make you aware of. I don't know. I'm just throwing that one out there. I don't know. But let's move to the comments to see what they say. So we're going to start off with Safety Third saying, not the arsehole, she was drinking and behaving poorly. That's plenty of reason to send someone home. But the fact that she's in a relationship with a nearly identical age gap and nearly identical starting points to yours makes me wonder if your sister is actually telling you some things about her relationship in her efforts to protect you. And MM172 says, not the arsehole, it stopped being a birthday party when she, hypocritically as you noted, decided to turn it into an interrogation of your boyfriend. She doesn't have to like him, but she shouldn't go appointing herself your protector when you're a grown adult, however much trouble she might have seeing you that way, and by all appearances, he's done nothing to warrant that besides exist. And Kaniva says, not the arsehole, she sounds like maybe she's got a lot of repressed feelings about her own marriage and is projecting them onto you. 7 compared to 8-year gap, baffling hypocritical. And OP does reply to this saying, I wondered that, her husband is a great dude, lived with them as well for almost a year a bit ago, and no red flags for abuse, but I don't think her relationship is as fulfilling as she wants it to be. She's very emotional, he's reserved and not very affectionate where she wants kisses, cuddling, whatnot. My boyfriend is pretty publicly affectionate with me, he holds my hand or has his arm around me most of the time and gives me kisses on the cheek, so I'm wondering if she has a little jealousy going on. Now, I turn this one to you guys. What do you guys make of this situation? Let me know in the comments below. And our next story comes from Hey Shy Hi. Am I the arsehole for not doing my husband's laundry? Background, he, 26 male, works full time, about 50 hours a week on average. I'm 25 female, a stay-at-home parent, also work part-time and in part-time school, 10 credit hours. He tends to keep a large pile of dirty/clean clothes on the floor on his side of the bed that he pulls from to get ready. I've also established a dirty clothes basket in the closet and he knows about it. This morning, he's getting ready for work and is pissed because he can't find any clean work clothes. I say, I caught up on laundry over the weekend, to which he replies, I have all these dirty clothes on the floor. Oh, just put them in the dirty clothes basket that's in the closet. He says, what's the difference between getting my clothes from the closet and getting them from the floor? I say, because everyone's dirty clothes go in the basket and it's not my job to clean up your dirty clothes off your floor. It turned into a mild argument. I told him he's entitled to think I'm going to pick his stuff up from the floor. He told me because he's never here, he works 7 to 5ish Monday through Friday, so this is not true. I have a better opportunity to pick up his stuff and wash it. I feel bad that he doesn't have any clean clothes, but I'm also not the maid. Edit, I feel like I'm an arsehole because I called him entitled. Also, it's really not hard for me to pick up his clothes from the floor. It doesn't take much extra time to do it. However, it's the principle. If he left dirty dishes in the living room instead of the kitchen sink, I'll be just as pissed. Edit 2, we have 2 kids, 5 and 1.5. 5-year-old is virtual learning. Also, to clarify, this became an issue when he said I should be able to pick up his clothes for him off the floor. So, am I the arsehole? In my opinion in this one, I think you said it right when you said you are not the maid. This is a respect issue more than anything. Is Literally leaving dirty clothes on the floor when, like you said, it's not much effort to just pick them up and put them in the basket. That goes for him as well, is a respect issue. It's showing the lack of respect of him not just taking that 2 seconds to literally pick up his dirty shit and put it into a basket. Who does what chores and balance all aside, as I said, it's just respect. And that's all there is to it. Putting myself in OP's shoes and trying to imagine myself in that situation in the bedroom, dirty pile of clothes on the floor, talking with my partner, and they said to me, you should be able to pick up those clothes off the floor for me. I'd be like, fuck no, you can pick those up and put them in the basket like I told you to, and then put him in the basket, maybe. But Rit says, not the arsehole. I work full time and I also manage to do my own laundry. He can accomplish this amazing feat as well. And Michelle D says, not the arsehole. I do the same thing to my husband. If it's not in the basket, then I'm not washing them. And LaCroix says, not the arsehole. You are not his servant. His time isn't more valuable than yours. You're his wife and partner. If he can't put dirty clothes where they go, he can do his own damn laundry. And entitled is probably the nicest word you could have used. I'd have chosen a much meaner one. And Yellow Chai Tea replies to this saying, when I started university, I met a guy in our building and we started dating a couple of weeks into the year. A month into dating, I made him a 7-cheese dip as a study snack. A couple of days later, he returned the container with the dip, and it was dirty. I asked him why it was dirty. It would have taken all of 5 minutes to wash it. He said, I didn't give him a clean container, so why should I get a clean container back? We stopped dating after that conversation. My now husband was my floor mate and witnessed the conversation, and it became a joke with us. In our wedding speeches, he promised to always do the dishes. And Multi-Phase says, not the arsehole. So when I was a teen, I had this exact same conversation with my mum. She wanted to put my clothes in the hamper, and I just didn't see the big deal of her taking one extra step, since she was a stay-at-home mum. And so her job was taking care of the house. Oh man, I caught a lot of shit for that one. My point being, that was my attitude when I was a surely teenager. I grew out of it, because adults realize that taking care of a household is a team effort. When your husband goes shopping, does he put the carts back in the cart corral? If so, that's the put the clothes in the basket equivalent of the retail shopping world, and he's showing more respect to strangers than to his own wife. And Fruby says, not the arsehole. It's disrespectful to throw stuff on the floor and expect others to pick it up. You already wash his clothes and care for the household, so you can at least expect him to not create more tasks than you already have. And we'll finish off with a sassy one from Salty with a twist saying, fuck no, not the arsehole. You are not a maid. He's a grown man. If it needs washing, he needs to put it in the laundry basket. Working full time is not an excuse for being able to move dirty clothes an extra few feet to make sure they are with the other dirty laundry. You know, like an adult. Now I turn this one to you guys. What do you guys make of this situation and what would you do in it? Let me know in the comments below. Now once again guys, thank you for being here today, and you guys did ask for a dad update, so I'm going to give you one right now. I'm going to keep it as brief as possible, so the video pretty much ends here. So if you are leaving here, thank you so much for your time, and let's crack on with the dad update. And once again, I would just like to preface this by saying I'm not asking for sympathy or anything like that. I just know some of you going through similar situations, you like to hear it, I like to share it, and that's all there is to it, okay? Let's get started. So more recently, my dad's legs have been getting a lot weaker just recently. He's having more and more trouble standing up, going to the toilet and things like that. It's become a real struggle. He still wants as much independence as possible, which is becoming, you know, more and more difficult with things going on. And he's got no muscle basically, and something's happened recently. He maintained his weight a couple of weeks ago, or so we thought, but then the following week he lost a further 6 pounds, which is a lot of weight, right? And then unfortunately he had another fall while he was in the bathroom, and he hit his ribs, and again that shocked him, and I think that's knocked him and made him not want to get out of the bed anymore, because he's scared. Like we bought him a watch so he can flag our phones if he's in any trouble, because at the moment he obviously doesn't want to go into care or anything like that, and he doesn't want carers around. The family does the majority of the caring as much as we can at the moment, and it's difficult in the fact that, you know, it's very much getting to the point now where we need some sort of care all the time, and it's finding that moment to actually do it, because I know my dad won't want that. He wants family around him as much as possible. And the weekend just gone, I was down there and he's getting confused and stuff like that. We thought it was morphine, but I think it's just a cancer, now. I've seen a similar thing before with another relative where this happened and they start getting confused and acting very, very strangely, and it's pretty much happening with my dad. My dad's seeing people outside of his window, he's in his bedroom, which is on the second floor, and he's seeing people literally at his window all the time. Neighbors popping up at his window and things like that. The other day he was telling me about someone was messing with a TV area and it was messing with a TV he watches in his bedroom, and he was talking to me about this guy, and he said it was cricket on TV at the moment, and I was like, yeah, there is cricket on. It was England versus India at the time, and I didn't know if he actually saw it or what. And he says, oh, there's a guy outside went on to this conversation. He went, there's a guy outside the window, and he keeps popping up at the window, and he's messing with the aerial, and he's got the aerial coming out of his nose. And I was like, fuck, what the hell, man, And then he says himself, I don't know if I'm just dreaming that or what. And you think, geez, it must be a scary situation. We both had a chuckle at it at first. And we're like, geez, man, that oromorph is some good stuff. And we kind of make a joke about it. And we do talk seriously about it as well. So I'm not playing it down. So trust me there. But obviously, I don't want my dad to be scared of this at the same time. We want to say, oh, yeah, you are just seeing these things, so try and make yourself aware if you can that you are just seeing them. But then last night, on Sunday, he had another fall. Luckily, my brother got down to him very quickly, and he was just in the bathroom, and apparently he was on the toilet and he couldn't get himself up. So what he decided was he was going to lower himself from the toilet and sleep on the floor. And it's a pretty small bathroom and there's a step in there, so he couldn't do that. So he had to bang this watch, and then my brother came down to help him again. And that's pretty much where we are at this point. It's gonna have to talk to some nurses today about what we can do, what the situation is, and the best way forward from here, because obviously he can't be alone much longer because everything that's going on. But yes, not asking for advice on that one because I don't know myself. I will be talking to nurses today, and they're in the best position to give us the advice, a palliative nurse. So we're gonna be talking to them today, and hopefully, we'll get the best plan that we can for him. But it feels, and I feel like I've said it months and months now, that something's happened. I feel like I said it like 6 months ago, and then he bounces back, but this time it feels different. It feels like something's happening. But we don't know. We can only prepare ourselves and make the most of everything where we can, and keep him as comfortable and happy while he is. Because when he does talk to us, even the weekend, he is chatty, he is happy, albeit like the confusion that's going on. He is as happy as can be at the moment, and again, it's the best we can ask for. Anyway, I've gone on for too long, and I will talk to you very, very soon. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the support, the time and love, and I will see you in the next one. Much love, guys. Goodbye.